Hi, I'm back, and although I will make soap, cold processed soap, later in another video, right now I want to show you how to make meatless hamburgers. I don't want to dump this into my laptop. My camera just didn't have enough space on the internal cards. So we're going to use the laptop. So I'm going to go ahead and let you watch the ingredients. This is my cutting board where I will make my patties, and this is the oatmeal. Now if you really want to know about this is oatmeal, regular old-fashioned oatmeal. Okay, you need the old-fashioned kind. All right, and my children love this, which is why I'm at 8 o'clock still doing things. So what I use is beef broth. You put that in there along with a whole host of spices like rosemary, fresh cracked black pepper or white pepper, cayenne pepper, ground cloves, onion, and garlic powder. You only need 1/8 of a teaspoon of the cloves. The rest of it is 1 teaspoon. Basil. I don't have any oregano right now, but you need oregano, chili powder, paprika, celery seed, and celery salt as well. Parsley flakes. All right. Okay, and I also will add steak seasoning. Now, to bind the oatmeal, you need eggs. Now, I bought the medium eggs from Kroger, and I know I believe this is 5 cups of oatmeal, you need 7 medium eggs. And that's the last of my eggs, my medium eggs. And I like this. I found this recipe on YouTube. A woman named Pervain and some other preppers on YouTube held a food pantry challenge to see if you could, make some delicious meals for your family from your food pantry storage. Now, I'm not a prepper. I'd like to be, but I'm not. But I saw this recipe and I just couldn't believe that you can make a meatless burger with raw, uncooked oatmeal and eggs and spices. And it's a process. You mix the egg and the oatmeal and the spices. And if you want to put some pulp from your juicer, if you are a green juicer, you can use that. Maybe a cup. If you have 5 cups of flakes, maybe a cup of pulp, if that's what you care to do. Beet pulp, kale pulp, spinach pulp, all work well, because that's what I was doing. And so you mix all of this up and you flavor it to your liking. And then you fry it in a skillet. Let me turn the skillet on. Now I use grapeseed oil. You fry it in a skillet. And after you have fried it to sear the outside of the patties, because I'm making patties, then you put it in broth and you boil it. You simmer it for 20 minutes. Now I did this backwards. The last time I put all of the wet together. Well, I put the eggs in, and then I put my spices in, and then I put my oatmeal in, so that the spices can evenly coat the oatmeal. Because right now I can see that my spices and my oatmeal, I'm going to have to work to get this evenly coated. So right now, I've added my beef broth. If you want to put a little bit of liquid smoke in there, you can do that. A little fennel. I did not mention that. A little fennel never hurts. And you can make it taste like sausage. I will not put a lot of rosemary in it. I'm eyeballing mine because I am forced to make this recipe. My children love it. And if they could eat hamburgers every day, they could. But I do worry about what I feed my children. And I'm on a budget. So this is a great alternative. Now, if you have athletes, people who use they need a lot of protein, you can experiment and expand. Well, I have regular pepper. I put white pepper in there. You can actually put whatever spices you want. Whatever spices you want, you can put in there. And but I've used these spices, and I know the flavor profile of these spices in this mixture. So I started, because I couldn't believe it, with I started with 1 cup of oatmeal to 1 egg. And I was surprised. And I let my children taste it. They didn't know that it wasn't meat. And this comes from a World War II recipe. When rations were out, when you had to ration, I put about 1/8 or 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves to give the patty depth. And other than that, I'm looking to a teaspoon, half teaspoon. And once you go, actually, if I can find the link, I will put the link under my video so that you can go and look at it for yourself, because I'm still blown away. I just cannot believe that you can make burgers from oatmeal. It has the same, this is a little poultry seasoning. It has the same texture as meat, which is the only reason that I would eat it. Because I figured if I messed it up or it didn't taste good, I can just ditch it. You know, it's just 1 cup of oatmeal and 1 egg. But I can't stop making these because everyone likes them so much. And we use hamburger buns, even though I'm making bread. We use hamburger buns, a little horseradish, lettuce, raw onion, and tomato. That's it. It doesn't have to be a big thing, and you don't have to worry about your dietary restrictions. If you're on a low sodium diet, don't put a lot of salt in it. Speaking of, I forgot to put salt in it. I mean, and then the broth can be low or no sodium broth. That's about a teaspoon of salt. It's up to you the way this will turn out. I even have the salt-free seasoning. Go ahead and put some of that in there. I stopped using this because it has cornmeal in it. I didn't appreciate that. But it also has red pepper flakes in it. And so after that, you know, you mix it. You're going to be mixing a little bit. So if you don't like to cook and what have you, this may not be the excuse me. This may not be the recipe for you. No, I did not sneeze into the food. I turned my head. This may not be the recipe for you if you don't like to cook. Because today I did not want to cook. And the thought of having to make this again because they love it so much, it just got on my nerve. but they love it so much. And I know it's good for them because oatmeal is good for you. It lowers cholesterol. So if you like meat and your doctor has asked you not to eat so much meat, this is a good alternative. Now, I know there are videos out there, they tell you to cook the oatmeal first. You cannot. You cannot cook the oatmeal first. It doesn't taste the same. Not to me anyway. Because this has the exact texture of meat, which I'm just flabbergasted by it. It has the exact texture of meat. And I'm like, how in the world are you getting that out of oatmeal flakes? I don't know, folks back during World War II, they had to do what they had to do, huh? And the woman Purbain said she found it, and she just went from there. Now, the trick to making sure you can't make thick burgers and have it taste like meat. Doesn't work that way. The burgers have to be like a McDonald's burger, medium thin. The thicker it is, the longer it takes to transform in the broth. So about this much. You want to make your patties from about that much. And because it's not meat, it's not going to shrink. So the size of your patty, that's the way it's going to come out of the skillet. It's not going to shrink like meat. If you want to put some bacon bits, I did that one time in there. You can put bacon bits in there. What you're using eggs and you're using oatmeal. If you want to use egg whites to cut down on the cholesterol, fine. But for people who need to take in protein because they work out, you can eat this, but you need to have another protein source. If you are into going to the gym and working out, this is a carb. If you're diabetic, this is a carb. It's a whole grain. It is processed, just not much. And it would count as your carb. So you have to either check with your nutritionist or your physician. But for people who just have to cut back on eating meat, hypertension, or you just want to be healthy, the 4th of July is coming up, you may want to give yourself a break on meat eating. Or if you wanted to try meatless living, even if you don't do it all the time, this is a great step towards that. Because, to be honest, I feel a lot better. Because we used to get the frozen hamburger patties, or I would get hamburger meat, and we had hamburgers a lot because everyone in the house likes hamburgers. So, since I have a 17-year-old son, if we want hamburgers, we have to make enough. Not enough for him, enough for us, because he's going to eat his hamburgers. Like on the 4th of July, I'm looking at 60 hamburgers, that I'm making. Now, I haven't tried this on the grill, and actually, I just would not try to put this on the grill. If you guys decide to try to put this on the grill, please let me know how it turns out. I have enough just making sure the regular hamburgers stay together. Now, a good thing to do is to once you get this in a ball, you get them in your balls, let it rest. You can let it rest after you mix it, or you can put it into balls and then let it rest. Okay. Now, I didn't say it wasn't messy. So, the next step will be to flatten them down into patties. And I think I have a good idea to keep them in the bowl. Yes, I have this over my sink. I thought that would be a great idea. Get that egg and whatnot off my hands. Okay, I'm only putting this up here because this is just too good not to share. As far as I'm concerned, it's too good not to share. And I'm turning I use grapeseed oil. I'm turning my skillet up. And I use a hamburger press just to keep them even. An even amount of pressure. Now remember, these burgers will not shrink. So the size that you see is the size that they will be. They should not be very thick. Some people would call it about the size of a hockey puck. About that. Maybe a little thinner wouldn't hurt. It would not hurt to make them a little thinner. And they have to be even so that they can cook evenly. I'm taking a really long time. I need to hurry up. In a big skillet, you can maybe get 4 or 5. I'm just going to start putting them in there. The longer you let them sit, the easier they'll hold together. Because you have to remember, this isn't actually meat. It's oatmeal and egg and spices. So you let them sit a little bit and they'll stay together. And I'm telling you, if you are on a dietary restriction, you ask your doctor, your nutritionist about this, and you make this your recipe. Because maybe you can't have salt, maybe you can't have egg. There's a substitute. There's a substitute. If you want to use your juicer pulp, you can use it. Because there's not a lot of stuff you can do with juicer pulp anyway. You know? You can put it in your compost. That's about it. And you can only use so much in compost. And if you juice every day, you're going to produce a lot of pulp. You can use the pulp also in your if you make vegetable stock. It's just a better way. And after a couple of months of cutting certain things out of your diet, you will feel better. Your workout will go easier. Believe me, I know. Your stamina will increase. And it's just better. Okay, I won't overcrowd the skillet. And I'm going to let the remaining 4 just sit. In the meanwhile, I have broth. Heating up in a pot. I'm going to show you. Okay. There you go. You let them brown on each side, and then you put them in the broth. And you keep it covered simmering for 20 minutes. And that's pretty much it. I will go ahead and let these cook and bring you back when we put them in the broth. Okay, I'm back. I skipped out on you when I put it in the broth, but it's time to take it out the broth. And you're not going to tell me that doesn't look like a burger. It does. It looks exactly like a burger. Now, when you take it out the broth, let it sit, let it rest for a minute, so some of the liquid can drain off. Because guess what? You got to put it back in the skillet and fry it again to get the texture you want. So here we go. Okay. Now, putting it in the skillet, you're just browning it on each side, and then that's it. You make your burger and you enjoy. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and check back with me again. I'll have some more stuff to show you. Bye.